Well, did make that serial load to Cheyenne on time. I had to wait and drive through the night to do it, and I tell you, I've never seen so many broken down trucks in all my years driving. Rusty and more on this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and fuzzy studio audience. Yep, that's Rusty, the world famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Alright, what is tonight? Monday night, the 15th. Yeah, I'm parked here in Douglas, Wyoming. Did make it to the Walmart distribution center in Cheyenne on time. If you watched my last video where I had to shut it down in Story City, I was running out of time anyway, but it was getting tough to see. Then I realized I didn't have enough time to do two 10-hour breaks, so I just needed to wait. And plus, the wind was still howling, and the serial loads are light. So I knew I was going to have to shut down because of the wind if I went out when I could have. So I went ahead and went that night. Yeah, so by Sunday night, the winds had died down enough that I was going to be able to make it all the way through. And then, of course, I see that there's going to be snow in western Nebraska and in Wyoming as I'm making my way closer. But I tell you, it was crazy. And still, with all the really super frigid temperatures and everything, I have not shut this truck off since Saturday morning. So I'm just afraid to shut it down and cause any problems. I'm leaving it running, baby, until it gets back up. Then I'll let the APU work at night, but not right now. Because I'll tell you why. Coming across I-80, there were a few trucks broken down and stuff until I got to Des Moines. But then I-80 from Des Moines all the way to Cheyenne, I have never seen this many broken down trucks. I stopped counting at 50. Yeah, 50. I've never seen that many broken down trucks. And it had to be all because of the cold weather. A lot of coolant leaks. The guy, if you watched my last video, parked across from me, that car hauler, he had a major coolant leak. He couldn't leave the next day. So, yeah, I've never seen so many broken down trucks. I'm sure all the towing companies all over the country were working triple time trying to help all these truckers. And of course, you know, there's so many broken down, they just couldn't get to everybody. So a lot of abandoned trucks. It wasn't really that a lot of them were in the ditch. There were still a few in the ditch here and there. But most of them just on the shoulder with their triangles out. They're broken down because of the cold temperatures. Like I say, in 14 years of trucking, never seen that many broken down just in that little bit of distance. Crazy. Yeah, so did make it to the Walmart distribution center. So I had left at like 6 p.m. Mountain Time Sunday night, drove all through the night. I did make it there by 5 a.m. The last couple hours driving from Sidney, Nebraska to Cheyenne, it was so cold that then with the snow is that really fine stuff and just cooks up into like smoke almost. So God forbid somebody else passes you or you're trying to pass somebody else, you can't see a damn thing. So I was down to like 35, 40 miles an hour most of the time on the last bit, but still managed to make it on time. Yeah, well, actually made it to the Walmart on time. But look at this. Oh, snowy it is here. It's not as bad as the one in Wisconsin was, but it's much colder here. Holy criminies, is it cold. Let's see, what's the GPS saying? Oh, it's not showing it right now, but let's see, it's saying -9, which probably feels like, you know, minus 20, 30 something. We made it, and even on time, barely. To me, this just looks like if somebody said, well, what does it look like in Alaska in the winter? When you see all the snow just blowing around and making visibility bad. It's icy, it's snowy. Yeah, it just kind of looks like another world, another land. But that's right here in little Cheyenne, Wyoming. Pretty crazy. So because of having to slow down towards the end of all that and everything, and I wasn't going to be able to make it up to here to Douglas, Wyoming, or to Glen Rock, Wyoming, to pick up my load of lignite, which was picking up Monday by 3 p.m. I had to stop and do a break before I could do that. At least then they gave me the chance to have dinner with part of the fam, my wife and my older son, Justin. So we got to go to Perkins, and it was free pie day. Never even knew there was such a thing. So it's in the fridge waiting for me. I'm going to be snacking all night later. What do you think? And I felt kind of silly. I ordered the 55 plus dinner, which I thought would be a smaller portion of the chicken, fried steak, mashed potatoes, and corn. It was actually still this huge, you know, like a base front on a baseball diamond size of a thing, so a chicken fried steak. So I didn't eat all that. So I've got that waiting for me later, and some pie. What do you think? Yeah, but went ahead and drove up here tonight because the winds were supposed to be better tonight than they are tomorrow. And coming up I-25 when it's always blowing from the west with an empty trailer, not a pretty picture. Bordeaux Road, some of you know it, just south of Wheatland there. That got a little hairy, but we made it through. So I'm going to be picking up the Lignite in Glen Rock, about 37 miles away from here. This is the closest truck stop to that. Tomorrow, yeah, a day late picking it up. But I've done the math, run the numbers. I'm a planner. If you watch my channel, you know that. And if all goes well, because usually I deliver in the mornings, because there's always a window of like 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So if the weather cooperates, I can still deliver on Wednesday. It's going to be a tight run before 2:30 p.m. Then I'm going to have to wait until Thursday to get another load. And at this point now, I do not have any other loads booked because there's not any more Lignite coming up. And it's not worth taking the cereal back to Cheyenne, as well as that load pays, because everything out of Cheyenne and Denver pays 80, 90 cents a mile, $1.10 at the best. So if I know I don't have a good return to get me back to the Midwest, then I'm going to start going other places probably. So we'll start looking into that tomorrow while I'm driving and everything. But yeah, so we're going to try. But again, this is that time of year, and winter has landed right on our faces, that that might not be possible. So if I need to wait until Thursday to deliver, I always have that option. So we'll just see how it goes. We'll pick up tomorrow, and that's kind of what's going on. So yes, did get a run by the house, have dinner with the fam, free pie, baby. And then of course I was able to grab a free shower at home. That's always a plus. It's a lovely thing when you can not have to pay for a shower for one, or use your points or credits or whatever, and then you can do it at the house. And then was able to, my wife and I went to the store, was able to get a few more supplies, a few things. I was running low on my Crystal Light caffeinated water packets, that I use to drink all the time, and a few other things I needed, like, I can't even remember now what we picked up, but milk was one of them. I had to get more canned dog food for Rusty, got to make sure he's taken care of, and some more vitamins, a few other things like that. So at least, since I don't know when I'm going to get home again, we need to get stocked up. What do you think? Well, just a short one tonight, but thanks for tuning in for that. Yeah, so we're sitting here at the Broken Wheel in Douglas, Wyoming. All set to go pick up our Lignite tomorrow, a day late, but that's the only way I can make things work. Couldn't get out there with all that wind, right, Rusty? Oh, I know, the bacon strips are coming. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, please like and comment, share, ring that bell for notification, all that jazz. Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter X, and Clutch Trucker 5 on TikTok. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. Okay, first off, I'm not going to get busted. And if I am, it's not going to be by a guy like that. Oh, I know. You want something. What is it? We're all excited. Is it bacon strips? Is that what it is? Bacon strips? I think so. All right, silly dog. There you go. Oh, yes. All over it. It's a beautiful thing. Even when it's, 19 below, feels like 27 below, or whatever the freak it is, we still make sure Rusty gets his bacon strips. Wow, you're tearing through it tonight. All right, here's another one. There you go. Oh, yes. Pepper dog. Well, I got pie waiting for me, so I get a treat tonight. It's a beautiful thing. It was free pie day at Perkins. I didn't even know. Well, you want your free pie? Yeah. You would. Anybody who says no to free pie needs to be slapped in the face repeatedly with a wet fish over and over, because there's something terribly wrong with you, right, Rusty? It's like, what dog would turn down a bacon strip? It's kind of equal to that. Okay, I think I saw another piece down there. You got it? Oh, all over it. All right, happy dog. Here, look.